Alright, so, on page 62, variables on both sides of the equation. I put up here kind of a checklist for multi-step equations, because one of the next lessons we're gonna do is equations that involve parentheses. So, first thing you wanna do is to eliminate parentheses, and of course we do that by using distributive property. So if you got parentheses in there, we'll distribute that. We'll talk more about that when we get to that lesson. Second thing we wanna do is to combine like terms. So you may have like terms on one side of the equal sign, or you may have like terms on both sides that you have to combine. Alright, and that's what we're gonna look at today. Then add, subtract. So we've been talking about that when we're solving equations, we're actually doing the order of operations in reverse. So that addition and subtraction would come before multiplication and division. And then I said there, the last step in solving an equation is to divide by the coefficient of the variable. So if you get down to 3x is equal to 9, you divide by 3, right? You divide by the number in front of the variable. You get down to 4x is equal to 16, you divide by 4, you divide by the coefficient of the variable. Alright? So here, we're looking at where we have variables on both sides of the equation. So obviously, we've got to get the variable on the same side, because we've been talking about since we started doing equations, we've got to isolate the variable, which means we want to get it on one side by itself. So they give us some examples here, and what I like with the examples they give you is it shows how to check them. So I keep saying to you, you want to be sure that you're checking these solutions, especially when test time rolls around, because you want to make sure that those solutions are correct. So we're just going to work through some of those at the bottom of page 62 in the classroom practice. Number one, you got 5x is equal to 8 plus 3x. Now, you can take the variable to either side of the equal sign that you want to. But here, 5x is already by itself on that side, so it makes sense to take the x over to that side, correct? So since it's plus 3x, I will subtract 3x from both sides. Now what's 5x minus 3x? 2x equals to 8, and here it cancels out, right? We talked about that. That's always our purpose. We're trying to cancel terms so that we can isolate that variable. And then, like we said, that last step being to divide by the coefficient. So we divide by 2, and x is equal to 4. Easy enough, right? And you can check that. If x is equal to 4, 5 times 4 is 20. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 8 is 20. Right? So both sides come out equal. That solution works for that equation. Any questions on number 1? Alright, so on number 2, we got 8x is equal to 2x plus 6. Almost the same thing, right? We've already got 8x, we got x by itself on the left hand side. So to bring the 2x over, we just subtract 2x. 8x minus 2x, 6x. 2x is canceled, because that would be 0. So we got 6x is equal to 6. And then that last step, divide by the coefficient, divide by 6, and x is 1. So if x is 1, 8 times 1 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 6 is 8. So we get 8 is equal to 8. We know that solution is correct. Let's skip 3 and go to 4. 5 minus 3y is equal to 2y. Alright, now this is a little bit different because we've got the variable already by itself on the right hand side. So we can take the 3y over. So we'll add 3y to both sides. Cancels out here. I'm left with 5. 2 plus 3 is 5y. And then I divide by the coefficient, right? So I divide by 5. And 1 is equal to y, or y is equal to 1. So that'd be 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 1 is 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. So that is a solution. That does work. Alright, Look at number 5. Similar to what we just did, right? You got A already by itself on that right hand side, so I can take the 1A over by adding 1A to both sides. 12 is equal to 6A, 5A plus 1A, and then divide by that coefficient, divide by 6. 2 is equal to A. And again, that should check out. 12 minus 2 is 10. 5 times 2 is 10. So both sides are equal. That's a true statement. 2 is the solution to that equation. Alright, again, we've already got 5B over here by itself, so we'll move our 3B over, so subtract 3B from both sides. 6 is equal to 5 minus 3 is 2B. And then divide by the coefficient of our variables, and divide by 2. And 3 is equal to B, or B is equal to 3. So 3 times 3 is 9, plus 6 is 15. And 5 times 3 is 15. So that solution checks out. Alright? So here, just like the title says, we've got variables on both sides of the equation, and you gotta bring those together. You could have, and we had this a lot in those problems that we were working yesterday, the word problems. So you could have the same variable on the same side of the equation, and you would still have to combine those like terms first. So here I would say 3 plus 2 is 5x, and then subtract 4, and then divide by the coefficient. X is 3. Alright, and you can see how in that problem we went through the checklist, right? Because we started out, we combined like terms, then we subtracted, so we did our addition and subtraction, and then last step, we divided by the coefficient of the variable. Alright, any questions? What does it mean if you triple a number? Times 3. Right? Double, of course, is times 2. Right, if you don't have any questions, your assignments on page 63. Let's start with 20. So we have 20 to 42 even. So page 63. 20 to 42 even. Hey, look, I told you at the beginning of the week that we might have a test on Friday, but that was the plan. But then yesterday, since we're on a short schedule, and we used yesterday to get those kind of academic assignments done, your test will not be until Tuesday, because I don't like giving you a test on Monday. So since we're not gonna be ready for our Friday, we'll just back that up to next Tuesday.